What's up, everybody? Here with another episode of the Keeping It Kayfabe podcast. I'm Greg. With me today.
No, you're Mega Greg, and I'm
Mega
Dangerous
Greg,
Dustin Dynamite.
And you are
the Slacker-cast channel.
Lawrence.
I didn't know we had cool names that we could choose and shit.
Yes, I'm Mega Greg. He's Dangerous Dustin Dynamite, and you are.
I'm just
Lawrence. He's Lawrence.
Man. That's
just Lawrence.
Okay. No.
He's Lawrence Cassidy.
Lawrence Cassidy.
Oh, I need my aviators, man. Damn.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about. We're not going to talk about SmackDown or Rampage because they were both trash this week, and I have nothing to say about either of them. Really, that's positive. But
I just don't know what they're doing with Rampage, man. It's like it's like an afterthought now. It didn't even have anything to do with Forbidden Door. There was no build-up. It was just like, oh, here's 3 more matches. There you go. Thanks.
I only watch Rampage for one reason, and it's the same reason I've only ever watched Rampage, and that's to see the Acclaimed come out and do a rap. That's it. It's the only reason I watch.
They were on. So.
Well, yeah, and they some scissoring was going on, but
yeah.
Scissor me, Lawrence. Come on, but we'll skip those two and we'll jump right into Forbidden Door.
Well, hold on, we got to talk about the big news today.
What was the big news?
Logan Paul signed with WWE.
Yes. As you see, I have a person in the background here that's going to be co-hosting with me today.
But what do you think about that? You think it's a good move?
First off, I don't think he signed a lengthy contract. I'm going to state that.
Yeah, it was just for the year. It was like for 2023. That was it.
He probably signed a contract for, I would say, SummerSlam to WrestleMania is what I'm predicting. I want to know how much they're paying him. Is what I want to know.
Oh man, whatever.
I heard it was a lot.
Didn't pay him.
I'm sure.
I heard it was like a few $1 million.
But I mean, I liked what I saw of Logan Paul at WrestleMania. So. I mean,
he'll be a perfect fucking heel. Because people already hate him. So
and I like this. I like the stuff he did where he got on the ropes and he did the little Eddie Shingle and.
Except I think his first feud is going to be with The Miz, so that's going to be kind of weird having 2 heels go against each other. But
it'll be like a passing the torch thing.
It's not because it's the perfect guy to like put him against.
Yeah,
because The Miz will put anybody over. So.
Well, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be entertaining. Something different.
Yeah, I mean, WWE needs something to draw people in, so it's good.
It's got my interest peaked, and I like Pat McAfee's in a feud now too. So
hey, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, it's good news, man. I'm kind of glad. Out of the Paul brothers, I don't dislike Logan, but I do dislike Jake.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you earlier, he hasn't been humbled yet.
What's up, Big T?
Tyson Fury will humble him.
He's going to fight Tyson Fury?
Yeah, well, he was supposed to fight him last time when he fought Woodley for the second time. But he got injured before the fight. That's why he ended up fighting Tyrone Woodley again.
Tyson Fury is going to destroy Jake Paul.
Not Tyson Fury. His brother.
His brother will probably destroy Jake Paul.
His brother's still kind of green though, but I mean that'd be good, I guess. You're talking about not Tyson Fury, but I forget his brother's name.
That's what I meant. I meant his little brother.
He has a little brother.
His brother's name is Little Mac.
Little Mac.
Yeah, and they told him if he loses to Jake Paul that he has to give up his family name, and his dad's not going to train him no more. They'll kick him out the gym. Like, I
mean, that's
no bullshit.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I believe him too.
All right, yeah, I mean that family's hard, man. So I believe it as well. All right, let's jump into Forbidden Door here because we got a lot to cover, and we're gonna try to keep it at our usual hour time here. So we open with Jericho, Suzuki, Sammy, Jericho, Suzuki, and Sammy versus Eddie, Wheeler, and Shota Umino.
Are we not going to talk about any of the buy-in matches?
I don't ever watch the buy-ins. But what were the buy-in matches? You can talk about those.
We had I actually missed the first one, but Aaron Solo and QT Marshall versus
No one cares.
Goto and Yoshihashi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yoshihashi. I wish I would have saw it then. If one of the New Japan guys.
Nick Komoroto versus Lance Archer. That match was okay.
Nobody cares.
And then
about
we
that
had
either.
Max Caster and the Gun Club versus Yuya Uemura, Alex Coughlin, the DKC, and Kevin Knight.
Yep,
And
doesn't sound like I missed anything there, other than maybe the Acclaim coming out rapping.
that actually was good, but yeah, okay. So we're out the buy-in. All right. Now,
So
Chris
all right.
Jericho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jericho, Suzuki, and Sammy versus
The Wizard, Chris Jericho.
Well, I guess I should say their names: Chris Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara versus Eddie. I can't say it right now. Piece of trash. Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota
Sloppy
Umino.
Eddie.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So, all right. What I said, I thought it was a decent match for the the cluster F it was.
Yeah. Can I say this? The multi-man matches. I felt like that's all we've seen. Was
yeah. That is all we saw for the most part.
I mean, there was only 3 singles matches, I believe.
I was like,
That's
was everybody on a tag team or something?
I will say this. I will say it didn't bother me as much because I watch a lot of New Japan and they do quite a few multi-man matches like before main card matches. Because usually the way they'll do it's like, let's say you got a 6-card event, you're gonna have 3 multis, 3 singles. So we didn't quite have that ratio here.
No, not at all.
I'm just saying it doesn't. It doesn't bother me as much, but it did kind of get annoying. What did y'all think of that match, the Jericho Suzuki match?
I mean, it was good. I'm just so fucking tired of that feud that I was just like, okay, here we go. Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho going.
Do you know what made me sick about
Eddie,
that match?
Yeah, Chris Jericho and Eddie. Go ahead, Greg.
There was one thing I loved about that match, or actually I will say the entrances to the match, and one thing I hated. I loved how big of a pop Suzuki got, but I hated how big of a pop Eddie Kingston got.
I knew, when that happened, I knew you were like rolling around. You're not dead.
I just don't get it, man.
I don't get it either. But I'll never understand it.
Seething with rage. He gets like he got a bigger pop than everyone, I think.
Oh yeah, Road Dogg to make a debut with the Ass Boys would be nice.
That'd be cool.
Bring him in there. I want to see him. I want to see him and Billy Gunn scissor.
There was a good. There was a funny little moment when Suzuki acted like he was going to run and jump through the ropes like everybody else. Yeah, he just kind of like ran and then stopped and then did this little smile on his face. I like that.
What do you think? What do you think of Minoru Suzuki? Because you haven't really seen much of him.
Well, I asked you that when I was watching it. Is he like the Eddie Kingston of New Japan? Because they are very similar in their fighting styles of slapping and chopping the fuck out.
Yeah, but at least Minoru Suzuki has a legit finisher and not a back
a
slap.
spinning backhand slap.
You don't like machine gun chops, Greg?
Not really, no.
They look stupid. They look dumb. Yeah. They're like
but the thing is,
like a kid would do.
It's from back in the old Japan days. So, it's fine.
I mean, honestly, I liked Eddie in this because it played off his goofiness. I thought it was just funny, and I thought it was a fun little match. Him and Suzuki had a good back and forth where they did the chest slaps on each other, the chops on each other's chests in the beginning. I thought it was pretty cool.
Say this, and Dustin, you probably noticed this. Minoru Suzuki looks like he hits pretty hard, man.
Oh yeah,
and he looks like he can just take anything. Like you could hit him in the head with a hammer, and he'd just be like, and he wouldn't sell it.
He'll smile at you and stick his tongue out.
Yeah. No, yeah, that guy.
I graded each match individually. I gave that match a C.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I didn't grade each match, but I'll
go with
a C.
That C was good.
I did the next one was a three-way tag title match. It was a Cobb,
the greatest tag team of all time.
I don't know about all that, but we had Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan from New Japan,
FTR
from AEW, and Roppongi Vice which Lawrence, you have some stuff to say about them from Ring of Honor. Are they all three of them were champs? Cobb and Okan were the New Japan champs, FTR AEW champs, and Roppongi Vice were the Ring of Honor tag champs.
No. The Roppongi Vice didn't have no belts going into that. FTR are already the Ring of Honor champs.
Are you sure?
Yeah. The AEW tag team champs are the Young Bucks, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, FTR did have a belt going into it. They had the AAA title, so they did win the Ring of Honor championship.
No, they already had Ring of Honor. They've had Ring of Honor since they've been in AEW.
Okay.
Roppongi Vice didn't have it. They were fighting with...
Who did they beat to get the Ring of Honor championship?
I want to say... I don't know. It was when they were still in Ring of Honor. Because when they came to AEW, when they bought Ring of Honor and came, they brought the belt with them.
I'm going to look that up real quick because I'm not sure about that, honestly.
They had the AAA,
You don't trust it.
Ring of Honor. Now they got in New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, they're triple title holders, so I guess that makes
they're the best tag team in the world, so I'd say they're the best.
I'm slowly starting to really like those guys.
Oh, they beat the Briscoes at the ROH Final Battle.
What?
So, yeah,
Briscoes.
I forgot the
love the
Briscoes did it.
Briscoes.
I do love the Briscoes. Man, I would not want to mess with those dudes.
Roppongi Vice was supposed to... I think they were going to beat FTR for one of those belts, and United Empire got involved.
Oh, yeah, I should have just read Big T here. He said they beat the Briscoes. So thank you for that, Big T. Here I am going to look it up when I got a active chat here. What's wrong with me?
You see that, and Big T agrees. They are the greatest tag team of all time, at least the modern era.
The modern era, I'll agree with. All time. Actually, there's people I think that are better than them in the modern era, to be honest. But we'll get.
I did like. I will say, Jeff Cobb, that little fucking fat turd can move. He looks like a little turd, but
Jeff Cobb is awesome, dude. That's the
awesome.
thing, though. It's like it's not all fat. That dude is like pretty.
No, he's like stocky. He's like a little stocky guy, but
How dare you talk about an Olympian like that?
No, he's awesome.
Yes,
I'm just
Ben
fucking
Grimm
around.
even says
any dude that size that can do a standing moonsault is impressive.
Yeah, he does some other standing flip moves too that are pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love Jeff Cobb. I didn't have a problem with this with the outcome of this match. It was a great match. I actually loved it.
Yeah, it was in my top 5.
Yeah,
sure.
I gave the match an A for grade.
Yeah,
that's how much I liked it.
I can agree with that.
And which is, odd for me because normally I hate 3-way tag matches. But I don't know. I like this one. It was good.
It was good. It was entertaining.
What about Great O'Khan? What did you think about him, Dustin?
Yeah, he was good. I like that tag team. I like that
Cobb
tag
and
team.
O'Khan.
I loved the match. And I'm a big mark for FTR now.
So next we had the All Atlantic 4-way for that new title, the All Atlantic Championship, the Fatal 4-way.
Yeah, this is another.
This is all the
match
winners
that
of the
was pretty
tournament.
good.
Let me say this, dude. I didn't care for Rusev when he was in WWE, but I love him here as Miro. I don't know what he
the
did
Redeemer.
as the Redeemer. Like
He
even
is
his
the
promos,
Redeemer.
everything
Close
he
the
does
door.
is like gold, man. That's somebody who needs to be like pushed a little bit. I think Miro is.
They're gonna push him.
Yeah.
And I actually thought it was. I was really pleased with this match because it was one of the matches that wasn't like predictable. Like I did not see Pac winning that belt.
Bro, I didn't either, and I agree with Big T.
I actually, I kind of thought they would probably give it to Pac because he's the biggest name in that match. But I would not. I'd actually am with Ben Grimm here. I wanted Miro to win it.
Yeah, I thought Miro was going to get it
But
for sure, and then they gave it to Pac, and the match was good. I enjoy Malachi Black is fun to watch.
yeah, Malachi Black's great. Who was the fourth guy?
The fourth guy was
I don't know why it's slipping my mind right now.
it was Clark Connors, who's from New Japan.
Yeah.
But
That dude was cool. Yeah, he looked like a.
he was a
kinda
last
retro
minute.
looking.
I forgot who was originally supposed to be in the match, but he was a last minute replacement. The guy that was originally supposed to
Clark
be there.
Connors is good, man.
Yeah, he was good.
He surprised me.
That match was good. That was another one of my up there matches. Plus, I love matches that I don't know that I knew that FTR was gonna win. I figured Jericho was gonna win, but this one was like, oh, really? Pac won? Okay, because I thought it was gonna be Miro for sure.
Pac's been in it for so long; he deserves something. I mean,
yeah.
how old is that guy? He's been wrestling since forever, man. So I feel like he deserved it. The crowd even said that. They were like, "You deserve it."
Yeah, I mean, the only problem Pac has ever had throughout his whole career is just he's injury prone. That's about it. But yeah, I would have rather Ishii been in it, Big T. That would have been awesome because I love Ishii. So
was he the guy? Was he the one that got sick?
Yeah, he's the one who couldn't make it, which sucks. But it is what it is. But good match.
Do you like Malachi Black, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has the best entrance in AEW. His entrance is incredible.
Yeah, when I first seen that was sick. I was like, where the lights go black and he's just.
I'll say this, man, that dude can move around well in the dark because he gets up in the ring in the dark, gets on the top turnbuckle, then he jumps down from there, gets in the center. I'm like, man, I would what if he slips and falls or some shit and the timing is off?
Yeah, I like how he's a big dude, but he can kick somebody in the head effortlessly.
Yeah, and then the black spit. What's that called? Where he spits that black shit in people's eyes.
I don't know what he.
The black mist.
The black mist. They had a name for it. He used that on Miro.
Yeah.
That black.
But yeah, what do y'all think of that title? Like the look of it?
Oh, I liked it. It reminds me of the. It kind of looks like the women's championship though, doesn't it? Like it's all of them are square.
It reminds me of the United Kingdom Championship or whatever they have over there in WWE.
That's I think it's the United Kingdom one. It looks like that, but it looks also. I liked it. I have an issue with it.
All right, so now is where I start to
but Greg,
criticize Forbidden Door a little bit. Are y'all ready for this?
But Greg, how many titles do they have, man? They're getting kind of crazy with all these different titles.
Not really. AEW doesn't have that many, honestly.
Well, they have the two. They have the TBS women's, TBS men's, women's.
The women's titles don't count.
All Atlanta. Yes, they do.
Neither one of them.
No, you can. You know what's weird about that? I know I don't want to jump around too much, but what's weird to me about that is that it seems to me like the TBS women's belt means more than the actual AEW women's belt.
That's just because that bad bitch Jade Cargill has it.
She is a bad bitch, isn't she?
In my mind, she's the champion of the women. Like I forget all.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, Thunder Rosa's actually the champion.
It's kind of sad because she doesn't get no love, man.
No, she sucks. Actually, she doesn't suck. She doesn't
suck. She's just boring. She's the Adam Page of.
She really is. That's a perfect description of her.
What's sad is I want like Adam, but yeah, not to get off track. My bad.
All right, so next we got the Young Bucks and ELP.
El
Phantasmo versus Sting, Darby Allin.
No, you call them by their fucking name, okay? They're the dudes with attitude, okay?
Sure.
Dudes with attitude.
Was that a throwback to something they did in like the 80s, like an old WCW team?
I don't know.
Do you want to know how you know that name is lame? Because it's one of the choices on WWE 2K22. Anytime it's a choice as one of your little call-out names on there, you know it's a lame name.
I did not know that.
That's so true.
Yeah,
I wonder if whoever came up with that was playing 2K and they were like, dudes with attitude, let's do that.
Possibly.
Generic.
All right, so I had so many problems with this match. First off, the way it started out with Sting doing a dive that his old butt shouldn't be doing to begin with.
Yeah,
the dude already had problems. He's going to dive off the stage.
They should have kept it classy. Just have him come from the rafters on the thing like he did in the old school days. If they were going to do something like that. Not have him jump like Batman off the fucking rafter thing.
I don't know what that was. I did like the Bucks and Bullet Club attire again. I did like seeing that. I will say that much about it. What else I got here? Darby versus El Phantasmo in a singles match would have probably been the better thing to do for this event, in my opinion.
Okay, well, I have to talk about El Phantasmo and his really awesome move that I saw him do, the titty twister.
Yes.
Does he do that all the time?
That was
He does kooky stuff like that a lot, yes.
And of course, the Sting doing the classic no sell. Classic Sting no sell of him doing that to him.
Oh, that shit hurts. Nothing hurts worse than a purple nurple.
Well, Sting, it didn't affect Sting. Sting doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Sting doesn't have nipples,
or he does it to himself or something. So
or maybe he likes it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like when Wardlow was taking those belt shots and it looked like he was like loving it.
Digs it. Yeah.
He took those like a champ. But yeah, man, I want to see Darby versus El Phantasmo. I think that would be
it. You know, and AEW is still booking matches with New Japan. They have one on Rampage this week.
I know you're
still Friday.
I know you're still learning New Japan, Dustin, but this match was a complete waste of Shingo Takagi.
Yeah, he wasn't even really featured much in the match. It was pretty much just the Young Bucks and El Phantasmo and Sting and Darby Allin.
I will say Sting moves around pretty good for an old man, though.
Yeah, was there a botch in there where Sting took out he took out the Young Bucks and he went out of the ring with them as they're rolling out, but then he was supposed to be in the ring for El Phantasmo to turn around and react to him being in there. And then Sting remembers, was like, "Oh, hey!" And he has to jump back in the ring.
I mean, when you start getting older, you start forgetting things. Okay,
that was like it killed the whole momentum for that for me. I was like,
I know I didn't like him no-selling the super kick from the Young Bucks. I'm like,
well, you know, that's just a Sting thing, though.
But you don't no-sell super kicks, man.
Sting can no-sell. Sting, he's the only one that's allowed to get away with it.
No, bro, he still fell down from it. It just took him a while. It was a lag.
Look, man, and this is what bothered me about it too. Is like the commentators were like, "Oh, he was able to resist it because he's an icon. He's an icon." I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'll agree. Lawrence, it was a delayed reaction, and I guess that was kind of lame. He was like, he took the super kick and then he did like a move to them, and then he fell over and then couldn't get back up. So that is kind of stupid, actually. I agree with you, Greg.
I'll say this: that match, the whole match was a complete mess. I'm sure the Marks absolutely love it, though.
There were things I liked about it, but yeah, it definitely wasn't one of my favorites.
I think it was the worst match on the card, in my opinion.
Oh, really? Worse than this next match we got coming up? Thunder
Well, hold
Rosa.
on, hold on. You cannot skip past this, okay? You're about to skip some very important stuff.
Oh.
Because we had something happen backstage that was an aftermath of the Jericho match.
Oh, let me guess. Jericho shot a fireball at somebody.
Well, Jericho activated his wizard powers again, and he threw a fireball in Shota Umino's face after saying he respected him and shaking his hand.
Yeah, I was wondering why he fell down.
Yeah, he fucking did the fireball thing again because he's a wizard.
He's a wizard, man. I don't know why you don't like that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Every time he says he's just doing it. He's just trolling at this point. And he even said in an interview, like, I didn't think the wizard thing was gonna. He's like, I really just said that as like a fucking joke, but now it's like a thing.
And you know Jericho.
And you can see every time he does it, you can see this little smirk on his face, like, this is stupid.
All right, so next up we got Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm. I don't care.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and admit it right now. Greg gave me a streaming thing so I can watch this shit. I watched this. I had to rewind and watch the match again to figure out who won because I really just didn't care about this match, man. I felt so bad.
I think they should have gave the belt to Toni Storm. I think she'd have been a better champ.
Well, that match was cut short because of the Shibata segment going long. We actually didn't mention that.
Well, they didn't. We haven't got there yet.
Oh, really?
I thought they did the women's match. Well, I mean, I'm looking at it in order.
When did that
women's
happen?
Match?
When did the Shibata thing happen?
After Orange Cassidy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, the guy at work was telling me that's why that match got cut short. I guess because they planned for the Shibata thing to go longer. I don't know.
So
That's
they
what
would
happened.
actually go long, and they
It
still.
was the
cut
only
short
match. It was
there.
the only match on the card that wasn't a New Japan versus AEW match.
Yeah,
So
actually, it doesn't make sense.
it was kind of weird, and I thought they put that match on the card so they could give Tony Storm the strap, but they didn't. So
Look at Big T's comment, and Big T, you're absolutely right. These matches become a chore. Like we have to have them just because.
Oh yeah, because I mean it's unfair if we don't.
I mean, but does New Japan have any women? Do they have a women's division?
No, Japan has
They have their own
a whole women's organization. So
yeah, that's what I thought.
they have Stardom, which is like I think that's Japan, but
yeah, that's
Stardom is like the big women's. If you want to
well,
watch good women's wrestling, watch Stardom. That's where you're going to see the best.
Or even I'll even say this: WWE has way better women matches than AEW. I said that from a long time ago. They have a stronger women division.
Honestly, Impact has the best women's division.
Yeah, Impact has the best.
And Stardom has the best women's wrestling, period. Because they actually breed legit women wrestlers and not half-ass train them. All right,
but it was a pointless match, and I mean it was a good match, but
we're wasting too much fucking time talking about it. Honestly, no one fucking cares. That match sucked. My grade for it's who cares.
We don't need to hate that much on the women, okay?
I mean,
it's not the women; it was just that match.
Yeah, that
anyone else would have been great, dude. Fucking Britt Baker or any of her matches are good, better than that.
Put Britt Baker against Hikaru Shida. At least she's Japanese, so
just don't hate on my girl Tony Storm, okay?
All right. So next up, we have something that you're going to be excited to talk about, Dustin. The IWGP US Championship. Even though Juice Robinson still has the title,
and he was there in the building with the belt.
Yes, he was.
Which, by the way, I think that might be my favorite belt. At least,
it's a very good belt.
That's a good
of
choice.
all the belts that are out right now, like the current belts. I think that might be my favorite one.
It is a very sexy looking belt.
It's red leather, which that's going to get me right off the bat, and then
it's definitely the best U.S. title that there's ever been.
Ever been better than that U.S. spinner thing they had back in the day.
It's better than that. It's better than the current WWE one. It's better than the North American Championship they had on NXT. God, that's probably one of the ugliest fucking belts ever.
This was my favorite match of the whole night.
Honestly, Big T, I really don't know why they couldn't have done that, but I guess because Stardom is technically not a part of New Japan, that's why they didn't do it. That would be my guess anyway. So moving on with this Ospreay match. So we had Will Ospreay with Aussie Open versus Orange Cassidy,
which was the match of the night to me.
It was the match of the night, and it was perfect how they did it because Ospreay mostly controlled the match with Orange getting in little offense. Honestly, the pacing of the match was perfect.
Style, yeah.
The pacing was perfect, and Orange was the underdog the whole time, as he should have been. And then the only time he'd get an offense is to get in his spots mostly, which was perfect. That's how it should have been with Ospreay. They didn't last long, which I liked. And ultimately you ended up getting Ospreay hitting a Stormbreaker for the win.
But he had to do he did the other move too before that.
He usually does the hidden blade before he hits him with Stormwind.
Yeah, that's right. He did the hidden blade, then he did the Stormbreaker. Yeah, man, I loved this match.
I agree. I actually agree with you, Big T. I actually think Orange Cassidy should cut that gimmick for the most part. I think he should do it occasionally, but the problem is that he does it so much that it's like, oh, well, he's doing it again.
The problem is the fucking fans. You were saying how he would get a pop all the time. He gets a pop anyways because the marks love it.
Yeah.
I love it, so I can't really talk shit.
I
think it's cool. I think it's cool how he fucking puts his hands in his pockets and then does fucking.
But how many times is that going to be cool to you? At what point?
I haven't got tired of it yet. But I've just started to. When I started watching wrestling again, he was injured, so I'd only seen clips of his wrestling. So I've really only seen two pretty much 2 matches to this
Yeah,
point.
when he's actually
Well,
wrestling
3.
and put on offense, he's good. It's great. When he does all that when he keeps doing that gimmick shit, it gets kind of old. That's the only thing.
I thought they played really well off each other. Like, I loved the part when like Ospreay landed in like the Spider-Man stance, and then
Oh, yeah.
fucking and then Orange Cassidy got down in the Spider-Man stance too, and then I don't know. I don't mind goofy gimmicks. So.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like Ospreay carried him that match, and the reason being, I think that's the reason Orange Cassidy got such little offense in on that match is because honestly, he's not ready to face somebody the caliber of Ospreay, who's a complete professional wrestler. I think Ospreay still needs a lot more moves in his move set to be complete, man. He doesn't have much there other than his gimmick shit.
I did like when Ospreay put his hand in Orange Cassidy's pocket looking for something, and then
That was
pulled out
awesome.
the middle finger.
Yeah, well, that's whenever he had him in the abdominal stretch, and he puts his hand in his pocket, like Snip pulls it out, and he's like,
like the storytelling between the two of them was great. Like the whole match,
was the best storytelling of the night in terms of matches. That was great, man. Because like you had the underdog, and you had this over heel guy.
All right, I want to get to the end of this because Ospreay wins, and then we have a major thing happens.
Yeah, they run in and jump him.
Shibata comes out. Katsuyori Shibata, which anyone who's ever watched Japan knows he was a huge name. You may have seen Lawrence. He's the guy that did the headbutt that almost killed him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he showed me that.
Yeah, but so he comes out and faces off against Ospreay. Ospreay, leaves the ring. So I guess something's going to happen there. I guess Shibata's actually going to try to have a match with him for that title.
When was the last time he was seen? Has he not been seen since he did that headbutt thing?
He did have a match in New Japan. He had a match against Zack Sabre Jr. not long ago.
But he was just not on the card, and a lot of people were like, "Why isn't Shibata on the card?" A lot of people were like questioning why. And then he showed up, and he got a huge pop
because they're building towards a huge like. The first thing is like this guy's probably having to go through so much fucking medical checks before they're gonna let him
clear him to wrestle.
But I mean, he seems fine, honestly. He just doesn't. He can't headbutt people anymore.
Is that his wrestling gear? Some babasketball shorts? That's cool.
Well, I mean,
he kind of looks like Bruce Lee a little bit.
He actually does trunks. He usually does the wrestling trunks, like the black trunks.
One last thing on this for y'all move on. Did y'all like when they tried to rip Orange Cassidy's pockets out of his pants?
I did. They did rip his pockets out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was possible. You can actually rip people's pockets out of their pants. I thought that was, I don't know. I was wondering what they were doing. I thought they were trying to pants him or something. I was like, what the fuck is this attitude era shit?
Trying to rip his pockets out. Yeah, I'll give that match an A+.
I give it an A.
Well,
which is
anytime I get to see my boy Will Ospreay, it's an A+ for me. So.
Yeah, a little bit of a man crush on him.
I do. I'm ready for G1, so I can watch him.
All the British wrestlers are cool, Greg. Like name one.
Dude, Ospreay's entrance is like so good. I mean,
his attire was awesome. He came out with a little bit, some new attire, different colors.
All right, so next up we got Zack Sabre Jr.
versus a mystery opponent.
A mystery opponent chosen by Daniel Bryan.
This match,
Bryan Danielson. I'm sorry,
brought a tear to my eye. I actually smiled when he came out.
Oh my god, I did.
No, because this is why, Greg. Whenever I got back into wrestling, back when we were doing the Slacker cast and like the car audio only, this guy was doing his thing on WWE. And you already know who it was, Dustin. It was Cesaro, but he's technically called
Claudio Castagnoli or whatever. Yeah.
Sounds like a pasta dish. But I don't know. I just had a warm feeling when I seen like nostalgia. I didn't care for him back in the day, but I mean,
I was gonna say he never really was like somebody that was that interesting to me. But I mean, the match was good. I thought I thought the match was good.
I kept praying he'd do the spinny thing where he picks him up and spins around, and they kept teasing it.
He tried to hit Zach with his finisher almost instantly, and then he almost pinned him, which I would have been pissed if that would have happened. But the thing that bothered me about this match is like it was all Claudio showing off, man. Like like they didn't let Zach get in enough offense. And
Yeah,
like
I thought Zach was a jobber. I
no,
never heard
that's the
this
thing.
guy.
He's like a main guy in New Japan. He was in the main event and fought for the title not long ago, and he didn't get to showcase much of his style because of the fucking shitty wrestler they put him against.
It's funny.
Damn.
Bleacher Report gave that match an A+.
Bleacher Report needs to maybe
Reevaluate.
stop
I'm
drinking. Stop
I'm with
drinking while
Lawrence.
they're
He did.
watching
He kind of
wrestling.
looked like a jobber, and I was like expecting a lot more.
Yeah, like if you
'Cause
never knew who Zack Sabre Jr. was, you'd be like, "Who the fuck is this lame-o?"
Greg hyped him up so much, and that's the only reason why I knew he wasn't a jobber was because Greg hyped him up so much. I mean, he got a few things in here and there, but you were even saying, Greg, like how Claudio wasn't really he was no selling a lot of stuff and just
He was no selling, and like Zack Sabre, it was supposed to be a technical match, and there was nothing technical about it.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
that
It was
was
Claudio slamming Zach around for the fucking
I-
20 minutes, however long it lasted.
That's what I was saying when I was watching it. I was like, I thought this was like technical. I thought this was supposed to be like technical wrestling. This is not technical wrestling, but
I gave that match a C, and honestly, Daniel Bryan's choice was disappointing to me.
yeah.
But doesn't this hammer home what the fuck MJF was saying about ex-WWE guys like taking?
Oh, I'm sure Claudio's getting paid more than MJF.
Yeah,
He can bank,
like,
I'm sure.
like what the heck? I don't know. There was anyone else could have been brought in.
They have to bring in these ex-WWE guys to try to help build the brand.
But this is the thing. This is where MJF's argument makes sense because Cesaro, as he was in WWE, was a mid-card wrestler. He was not a main eventer. He was mid-card pretty much almost his entire career. His best run was with Sheamus when they were the tag champions.
Exactly.
So you bring this guy in who's going to be a mid-carder in AEW as well, but still making more money than MJF, who obviously the show has lost some steam since he's went away.
So, he definitely has a point. I just people are always like, another ex-WWE guy. Okay, well, who cares? I mean, they have to bring these guys in to try to build the brand and try to help the next guys. But there needs to be a better pay scale. And
so let's try to race through this a little more because we still got Raw and Blood and Guts to get through. Next up, we got the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Jay White from New Japan versus Adam Page from AEW versus Kazuchika Okada from New Japan versus Adam Cole from AEW.
Start off by saying I like this match.
It was good.
This wasn't higher.
It was a really good match.
It was a good match. The finish kind of got fucked up at the end because Adam Cole got seriously injured.
I wanted to ask
the New Japan guys got the biggest pops though out of this.
Yeah, I knew the crowd, dude. The crowd was fucking lit all night. Everybody that come out, just big pops all night. That was one thing I noticed.
The match was a little all over the place, as you'd expect a 4-way to be.
Yeah.
So, Greg, is Okada like the Ric Flair of New Japan Pro Wrestling?
I mean, Okada is more like the Hulk Hogan of New Japan Wrestling. Well, actually, him and Tanahashi kind of share that role. Actually, I would say Tanahashi is the Hulk Hogan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Okada is the Macho Man.
Okay. That's a good way to put it.
Go ahead and talk about did y'all have much more to say about that match other than Adam Cole getting hurt?
No, I mean he caught a bad. I
was going to ask what happened at the end.
I was just glad Jay White kept the title. He would have lost it.
I heard him whisper something to the ref. I thought it was like
because
he
was telling him to check him. He was like, check on him.
Yeah, he was telling him to check on him because apparently I think he was like. He was either trying to fight somebody that wasn't there. Oh, no, he was trying to kick out. He tried to kick out of that 3 count and didn't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I think he was supposed to because Okada hit the Rainmaker.
Yeah.
Or no, Jay White hit his finish on Okada, and Okada rolled out of the ring, and he jumped on Adam Cole to pin him. And I think Adam Cole was supposed to kick out, but he didn't. And Jay White told the ref, like, hey, check on him because I think he's really hurt. And he was.
Jay White was always supposed to win, right?
Yeah. Jay White was supposed to win. That just wasn't supposed to be the finish.
Mm.
So because they're probably going to start some type of like Adam Cole, Jay White thing, but I guess that's going to be postponed. So the last match of the evening, the main event, was the AEW Interim Championship match. Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi.
What's your thoughts on John Moxley before we start this?
Well, they pissed me off with the entrance. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they started it out with John Moxley and his kick-ass New Japan Death Rider theme. Then they switched it to that stupid fucking wild thing
I
shit.
hate that wild thing. Compared to his original one, I was like, dude, he needs to keep that.
Look, I really like John Moxley, and I like the belt being on John Moxley. And I'm hoping now that this whole fucking Blackpool Combat Club versus Jericho, Eddie Kingston fucking bullshit is over, that we can see him go on another nice little run with the AEW belt.
I like Mox as champ. I'm like you. I don't have an issue with that.
I don't have an issue. I like Mox. I like him. And
It was better than Adam Page's champ.
And he was being wasted tagging with Danielson. So now we get to see him back in singles.
Him and Tanahashi did the classic back and forth match. Moxley, of course, gets bloody because he has to wear a crimson mask every single match he has.
He's the Nate Diaz of professional wrestling.
That blood, man.
But ultimately, Moxley ends up winning via Death Rider.
And then we get the classic fucking bullshit fucking run-in. Like, okay, you put together this almost, I wouldn't say it was perfect, but you put together a really fucking great pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And it should have just ended. I know you have to build up for your fucking stupid blood and guts match, but this match or this card should have ended with them in the ring just, and that's it. Like they were at the end. No fucking bullshit run-in. Doesn't need to be a big fucking brawl at the end. It kind of ruined.
There is one thing I like about the run-ins now. I forget if it was Big T or Ben Grimm who said it, but I get to see Eddie Kingston do his toddler run. Because he does run like a toddler.
I was just like, when they did that, I was just like, are you kidding me?
I want to touch on Big T's comment real quick here. He said that Brody King is the number one contender for the interim championship. Why? Why would Brody King be the number one contender? He's been with the company, 2 months?
Has he even really wrestled on any of on TV?
I don't know what
I haven't seen him.
I don't know what he's done to deserve a number one contendership, but
they had remember that I don't think that I don't know who updates that shit, but I don't think that they had Wardlow as the number one contender for
I said Wardlow was going to be one.
Yeah, but he stepped away and said that he's gonna go for the
that's what I'm talking about, Big T. They didn't need to do that at the end.
That's the thing too. Like, why? Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, fucking Claudio's little pop at the end. I was like, what? They made it seem like somebody epic was going to come to the ring, like Sting or somebody was going to like save the day, and it was fucking Claudio.
They don't need. They didn't need. They tarnished the end with that.
I'm so sick of the run-ins.
Mox and Tanahashi hugging it out in the middle of the ring, showing respect for each other, and fucking end it like that. Because the pay-per-view was fucking great, and it just, I don't know, it soured that.
You guys don't
Big T is right. It made the entire event feel like an episode of Dynamite.
Yeah, So, but all in all, I was very, very pleased with that pay-per-view. And
if I had to grade it, I would have gave it an A. It was good.
If I didn't watch it for free on TikTok, I would have definitely been okay with spending $50 on it.
I could say that it lived up to the hype of the whole Forbidden Door thing, the two companies mixing. I felt like it didn't disappoint.
All right, so Raw. I don't have a whole lot to say about Raw, so
yeah, we can make it quick.
So RK Bro is done. That's not a thing. Like I haven't watched.
Well, Randy Orton's hurt, so
yeah, he's hurt. But Riddle won Money in the Bank, or won the last Money in the Bank spot.
So he did. This was a night of celebrating John Cena. I'm gonna say this: they celebrate this dude like they had all the people greeting him when he came in the beginning of the show. You would think this guy was a fucking war hero.
He is, isn't he? Like half Marine, half rapper.
Well, he's the best representation of the military by someone who's never been in the military.
You know who should be the GOAT of that class of guys to come out is fucking Orton. Because Orton has been there at the same amount of time as John Cena, and he fucking has been in the company wrestling and has carried that company when John Cena was doing fucking making shitty movies.
I think what hurts Randy Orton is like he's heel mostly, and they always like the face to be the one that's the like same thing with Stone Cold and The Rock. You know, everyone remembers Stone Cold's like he did have that heel run, but it was always everyone always remembered him fondly as a face. So he was always the face of WWF for that era. I think the same thing with John Cena. It's like he's just the face of that era because he was such a good guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't stand John Cena. Ever since the day he turned face and never looked back, I was like, I loved his Doctor of Thugonomics.
I did too, and the chains and the spinner shit.
And
every belt had to be a spinner.
Out, just diss rapping everybody, and he'd show up in Boston with a New York Yankees jersey on.
Oh yeah.
Especially with him being a kid from Massachusetts, just a slap in the face.
Smacking Stephanie's ass.
Yeah. Like, I loved that version of John Cena, and then he became a face, and then they just, like,
he joined the Marines. So it was like this. Super Cena.
All about the kids. I'm going to give a fuck, man.
Hustle, loyalty, and respect or something. Is that?
Yeah, fuck John Cena. Lame.
John Cena, man. That's.
I don't know if Greg wants to talk about Jey Uso and Montez Ford, but
no, I don't. I have nothing to really say about them.
I do like Montez Ford, though. I think he's great.
I mean, I like Montez and I like that tag team, but the fact of the matter is we've already seen them versus the Usos in some way for the past 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and I'm just sick of it. I'm ready for them to just have their match and it be done.
Yeah.
But what did you think of all the people saying the stuff about Cena? Did you already talk about that?
No, really talk about
just a little bit. But what's your thoughts on it?
I thought it was cool. I mean, John Cena has done a lot for that company and carried it on his back for a very long time. Even though he was very repetitive, like as far as like some of his matches, like, you know, the Super Cena era, if anyone remembers Super Cena. But like, you can't hate on the guy, man, because he's basically the next Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. He's the last of them WWE greats.
Yeah, he is the last of that type of wrestler, yes. But
whatever.
Dustin said Randy Orton should have been like the GOAT of that.
Yeah, I actually want to touch on. No, man, Orton has not done more than Cena.
Whatever.
He has not went through everybody like Cena did.
He had that legend killer like phase.
Because there was a point in time when Randy Orton fell into obscurity. That never happened with John Cena. John Cena never fell into obscurity ever.
True.
In his entire career.
Yeah, probably because they were too busy pushing John Cena.
I mean, you could make the argument that it should have been Randy. That argument's there, but to say that he is above Cena in that regard, I mean, no.
Cena just had whatever it is. Like he just had something that you can't even put into words, like that makes him likable. I mean,
well, I never liked him, so except for when he was a heel. So,
well, that was like 20 years ago. So,
yeah, that was the last time I liked John Cena. John Cena can.
Oh, look, you don't have to like him. I was never the huge. I was never a huge Cena fan. Why would you not respect him? Why?
Because hustle, loyalty, and respect, dude. You got to.
Yeah, exactly. What Lauren said: hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Man. Honestly, I think he was a big proponent for the WWE pushing PG. So
that wasn't his fault.
He ruined wrestling.
It was more Linda McMahon than it was John Cena.
Yeah, that was exactly what it was.
It was once they got involved in politics and decided they wanted to be a publicly shared company as opposed to a privately shared company. That's what turned it to PG.
Whatever. John Cena, cool. Thank you for 20 years of service.
What do you think of the Miz segment calling out Logan Paul? Well, so we now know Logan Paul signed, so.
Yeah, I always love when the Miz gets on there, and someone always talks about his small balls now.
Yeah, him, AJ came out. They did the small balls thing. Him and AJ have a match. Nothing special.
Greg, I remember you were head over heels for that AJ Styles.
I still am. I just think WWE misuses him.
They're too busy.
AJ is one of the goats to me, man.
Let's see. Then we had
McMahon came out and basically mooned everybody again.
I'm telling you, he's gonna come out every fucking week now. He's gonna come out every week and he's just gonna say some stupid shit and then go back to the back again.
I will say I always liked the Cena merch. Like Cena's merch, he always had good stuff.
I didn't.
Wasn't it just him saluting?
God, man, you are such a fucking hater. Who do you hate more, Cena or Edge? Jeez.
I don't know. They're real close, both.
It's like everybody who's good you hate.
Honestly, though, I watched a little documentary about that whole Matt Hardy.
You like a guy who does nothing but puts his hands in his pockets and jumps around for 10 to 15 minutes, but you don't like John Cena.
Look, man, I like what I like, okay?
Great. He's not a part of the C Nation.
He likes circus stuff. That's the problem. He likes all the circus stuff.
What about Alexis Bliss versus Liv
Nobody
Morgan?
cares. Nobody gives a care about that match.
All right, what about Bobby Lashley versus Alpha Academy?
Nobody cares about that neither. Moving on.
What about the women's money? Oh, we do need to talk about this just at least a little bit. The women's
we did get some rehab stuff from Cody. You can't just skip over that.
Oh yeah, Cody came out did a little video or whatever.
Yeah, it was good to see that he's doing all right, but like why are you cock teasing us with Cody?
Yeah.
I didn't really care.
Oh, there was one thing. You did have to like this, Dustin. You had to love when Seth Rollins came up to John Cena and he was laughing his theme.
Dude, I love and hate this version of Seth Rollins. Like,
at first it annoyed me, but now I love it. It's so obnoxious.
It's growing on me, but it was like, I'm like, you're like a wannabe, like it's like you're trying to be the Joker or something. Like, stop. But yeah, it's growing on me. And did you notice whenever Cena was in the back and he was talking to everybody, Becky Lynch was just kind of sitting on she was like sitting on like some boxes back there, and she was like slow clapping, like she didn't give a fuck. That shit was awesome.
Big time Bex.
I think she's probably my favorite of the women wrestlers right now.
More than Alexa Bliss?
Well, you should be happy that she won the multi-woman match and has earned the right to be the Money in the Bank match.
Finally got her redemption. This is what they've been building to for the last fucking 2 months of just making her lose over and over and over again. Which I think it was fitting. It was a good way to, I guess, arc her story. I guess it's not over yet. She still has to win the Money in the Bank.
If you eliminate John Cena from this Raw would have probably got a D, but because of Cena, it got a C.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right.
His presence alone propelled it to a C. Yeah. Any wrestler do anything.
Yeah, and they didn't really build anything either. I thought they kind of like teased the Austin Theory stuff.
Yeah.
But there was like no real build for anything. It was more.
He's gonna have a match at SummerSlam. Don't worry. He'll come out on the next Raw or something and announce it.
What's the news of like Pat McAfee? Because I remember he was like really pushed or like.
That was on SmackDown.
He's gonna have a match with Corbin. I think that's.
Yeah, they're building a match with Corbin. Yeah. He cut a really good promo on SmackDown. We didn't talk about SmackDown, but
nah.
All right, so we want to move on to Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts. Let's talk about this crap show.
Okay, so we have the first match was
Orange Cassidy and Ethan Page. That was actually your first match.
Was it the first match?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
They did all the recap from Forbidden Door.
Good match. Orange Cassidy won.
You thought that was a good match?
I thought it was a good match.
I didn't. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that match. First off, Orange Cassidy's new theme is terrible. Go back to the Pixies because that was awesome. It suited him so well.
And it was perfect, like the hit, that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a lazy song, and his character is like.
He's lazy.
Yeah,
lazy millennial.
Apparently, I read about this. So apparently, the AEW lost the rights to use the music. So they have.
Buy him back.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to buy
You're a
the
billionaire
music.
company. Just buy it back.
So I guess they were just like, let's just change your theme. So they changed it to that. So we had that match, and that was
No, hold on, wait. I got stuff to say about this match. Let's not just jump past it. They made this match out like Ethan Page was some kind of giant that Orange Cassidy was fighting. They portrayed him as a big guy the whole match, like, oh, Orange Cassidy can't body slam him because he's so big. I'm like, what are you doing? This dude is not even that big.
Well, Dan Lambert is like, he's the Greg Cummings of AEW. He does not like skinny wrestlers. That's his new thing.
Well, he's more like the Jim Cornette. That's the gimmick he's portraying.
He's pretty much like Jim Cornette.
I just agree with a lot of what's going on there.
What's funny though is Ethan Page looks like somebody that used to work out and then let himself go with his man titties and beer gut. But
according to Ben Grimm, that was his theme in the Indies.
Oh, it sucks. I don't like it.
Back to his old music. I mean, it's not terrible, but the Pixies thing just fit him perfectly.
Yeah, it was like a.
Drink this. Here, drink my drink. Here.
But yeah, overall, I like
it's lemonade. All right, so yeah, and the match ended with Orange Cassidy doing a Superman punch and then a body slam. A body slam.
He finally body slammed him. I mean,
because he was a giant.
Yeah, he's a giant. I mean, he kind of is compared to Orange Cassidy.
No, man, that match was trash. Other than Orange doing his stuff, everything else about that match was trash.
That's probably why I liked it. Orange doing his stuff. All right, and then we had Christian Cage comes out and cuts a little promo and disses.
He said
dead family again.
You sent us that picture.
Oh, this time he said that he wishes Jungle Boy's entire family was dead.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. He's like old school Christian.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, this is what they should have been doing with Christian from the jump.
So, and then we get the new and improved with a new entrance, new pyro, new outfit, new mask, Luchasaurus.
Evil Lucha.
Yeah, it's Evil Lucha. Well, he has a black mask now. That's all you need to show that you're like a bad guy, right?
Well, it's all black mask, black pants, new music, new pyro. He is he's heel Luchasaurus now, and he came out and squashed some jobber.
Yep.
Like that.
I mean, Serpentico was who he squashed. Yeah. You asked me earlier. See, this is what I'm talking about whenever we're talking through text and you like get all amped up about what you want to say about wrestling. And then like we start doing the podcast and it's like, oh, I've already talked about this.
I mean, I just reiterate. I mean, I'm going to talk about it anyways,
but you asked me what I thought about heel Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
And what did I say to you? I'm like,
you said, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me about wrestling until we get to
and then I told you, I said he doesn't mean shit to me. He doesn't mean any more to me than he did before. He's still just a fucking dumb dinosaur gimmick.
Well, he really is. I mean, it was cool and cute at first, but now it's like it had to go there. It had to do something different with him.
I just don't know what
eating people.
So next up, we have Max Caster and the Ass Boys versus Danhausen and FTR. Well, he introduced STR as his, mystery.
Yeah, he had a mystery opponent, and it was FTR, and the fucking crowd went wild.
Oh yeah.
There was a little bit of interesting stuff happened at the end with the Anthony Bowens got up out of his wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
And he accidentally hit one of the guys from the Gun Club in the head, and they lost the match.
Yeah. What do you think of the rap, by the way, that Max Caster did going out?
Dude, his raps are always just every time he's always got one line.
I've been telling people this for the longest, man. And like everyone's like, oh no, just go back and do Cena's old stuff. But I'm like, Max Caster stuff is current and it's good.
Yeah, it can't touch his stuff.
And they're good. Like I enjoy watching their tag team, their wrestling, all of it. I mean, and their stuff that they do with the Gun Club or Ass Boys, whoever they are, is great too.
I have a problem with Danhausen. I know this guy is like the goofy gimmick, but Lawrence, you're probably going to agree with me here. Isn't Danhausen basically just a Doink the Clown ripoff?
He's like a type like that. You said it. I think you said it best. He's like Papa Shango, like the voodoo stuff and the curses and shit.
Yeah, he's like a ripoff of Doink the Clown and Papa Shango. You combine those two together, you have Danhausen.
He's like a wrestler from that era, that like old.
The modern
WWE.
people call him a meme wrestler.
A meme wrestler.
A meme wrestler.
And that's something that's supposed to be okay in wrestling. Someone who's called
But I think
meme wrestler.
I think that's kind of what AEW is about, because they kind of
company.
No. I'm saying that's the kind of stuff they do in the indies. They do weird stuff like that in the indies. So you get some of that a little taste.
It's like Ben says, those guys are classic though. They were goofy back in the day, but you look back at them fondly, like Papa Shango and Doink.
And Danhausen had a cult following before he hit AEW. Anyway, it's like,
yeah,
don't get me wrong. I'm familiar with goofy stuff. I mean, I watched fucking Japan wrestling. There's some of the goofiest shit in the world. I got a video on my phone that was sent to me of some guy, like, I don't know, it's like a Japanese match where I don't know how the hell this even happened, but apparently he starts fingering some chick and then flies out to the crowd, and the crowd goes nuts about it.
What?
I'll have to show it to you sometime. It's definitely not safe for showing on this podcast.
But to not get off topic, I think you're hard on Danhausen. I think he fits that company.
I don't hate him. I just think that he's a ripoff.
Okay, but you know what? I do have a bone about this, about AEW and Danhausen. What happened to Hookhausen? They built this Hookhausen thing up.
Yeah, what happened?
Now all of a sudden, and this is classic AEW storyline shit. It's like, it's just, did you just blow that storyline up? Is somebody hurt? Like, I mean, they even on Rampage 2 weeks ago, they had a stupid little 2-minute segment where they just like.
Look at what Ben said. He's like, have you ever seen Gunther's gimmick when he wrestled in Japan? He was a giant beaver.
Oh my god.
I have not seen that, Ben, but it does not surprise me.
Well, someone tagged me in a video on TikTok, and it was a guy dressed up in a koala suit, wrestling some guy that was acting like Stewie from Mad TV, and then the koala pulled out a knife and stabbed the guy, or pretended to stab him. I was like, what the fuck?
You know what? AEW's not so bad after all.
Yeah, see.
They're kind of like an indie wrestling company, but they get TV time. So,
but no, you actually touched on something. I don't like them abandoning storylines like that. At least,
and I liked the Hookhausen stuff. I didn't mind it, and they built it perfectly. They kept doing the little where Danhausen pops up and like tries to get him to join the team, kind of like the RK Bro thing. They finally joined the team, and they even have a bunch of more little stupid segments, and now it's over. Like, is it over? Ben, or like, are you taking a break from it? Like, the fuck?
Ben, I have enough to ruin professional wrestling for me these days. I don't need to go looking that shit up, man. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
His name, though, Cha Cha Ping was his name. Cha Cha Ping.
I kind of like the name. I ain't going to lie.
Dude, I'm going to look that shit up when I get off the computer. When we get off
better than Roppongi Vice?
No, Cha Cha Ping. That's
what's your deal with Roppongi Vice, Lawrence?
That's a dumb name.
What does it mean? I don't know what it means.
I'm sure it means something.
Is it Japan? Is it Japanese?
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up right now. What does Roppongi mean?
It sounds like something a kid came up with. Like, hey, this guy's Asian. What should we call Roppongi?
Roppongi is for idiots. Roppongi is for rich foreigners who can't speak Japanese. Roppongi is where every sort of shadiness goes down. So it basically, you know how they say that Rocky Romero is. No, you know how they say he's the king of sneaky style. That's his thing, sneaky style. Well, that's basically what it's talking about. What the Roppongi thing is.
And the Vice is bad.
They're sneaky. Like they do sneaky stuff. They're sneak fucks.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look this shit up, Ben Grimm. I'm definitely making a TikTok about that for sure. Because I don't think a lot of people know about that. So
probably not.
And I haven't seen anything about it, so that should be.
All right, we're almost to the end here. Jade Cargill smashes some other chick that no one cares about and retains her title.
And then we get a run in from Athena and Chris Statlander, which I don't understand. Why do they keep putting why do they keep putting Jade Cargill against these jobbers? Why let her fight Chris Statlander and Athena?
Because she's still kind of green.
I guess
she is. She's
I know
very
she
green.
is. You can tell when you shoot. You can tell by her wrestling, but she's training with Daniel Bryan, so she's going to be pretty awesome. I think she'll be in WWE.
Let's get to this. Let's get this blood and guts match out of the way so I can go.
I don't have much
put my
to say
kid to bed.
I don't have much to say about it. Besides, I thought it was the worst match of the night.
I thought it was one of the worst matches I've ever seen. Period.
Dang.
It was trash. It was complete shit. It was all over the place. You couldn't keep up with anything. I fucking hated every single second of that match. The only reason I didn't fast forward to just see the finish is because I knew we were going to talk about it on this podcast. That is the only reason I watched it, because I hated everything about it.
I was watching it in bed on my phone, and I actually fell asleep at during. I had to watch it again this morning. When I woke up, because I fell asleep in the middle of the match because I was so fucking bored with it.
Well, hold on, Dustin. Something amazing happened at the end, though. Guess what happened? Just take a guess. You'll never guess in a million years. You'll never guess.
Everybody ran in and started beating the shit out of each other.
Son of a bitch! I can't believe you figured it out that easy, dude. Every single event.
They did. It ended with them kind of on the top of the cage, though, and they were the fucking team that won was on top of the cage, but it was I'm not
run-ins, man. Why?
I'm not a fan of these matches. And honestly, like it's 2 rings and 2 steel cages, like into the whole you can't go into they've timing. Like, why didn't you just put all 12 people in the fucking ring at the same time?
You have Jericho's team; they're all wearing the same shit, so they all look like the same person.
And they're all right around about the same size and everything. No, you're right, dude. You don't know who anybody is because they're all about the same size. They all kind of have the same look, so it's like, okay. And then by the end of it, everyone's fucking bloody because Moxley was fucking running around stabbing people with skewers and shit.
And then he stabs himself. Dude, there has to be blood in all his matches. Everyone.
At some point, Eddie Kingston threw tacks in somebody's face.
There was some alcohol or gas or whatever. They were going to probably try to set somebody on fire again.
Well, that's his thing. He likes to set people on fire now.
I just hope this is the end of that bullshit. Please let it be
same thing, Ben Grimm, keeping it kayfabe.
I just want it to be the end of the fucking feud between all these guys because it honestly just ruins it for me. And I thought that match was fucking garbage.
I'm gonna say this. AEW is hurting right now, man. With Punk out, Daniel Bryan can't really wrestle right now. Adam Cole's about to be out, probably with a concussion. MJF is out. Every reason that I had to watch this program, Kenny Omega's still not back.
Yes.
Every reason I have to watch AEW is almost gone right now. I mean,
did you hear about how Kenny Omega said that if he suffers another setback, that he might not come back?
I don't believe it.
He also said if he suffers another major injury, he might not come back either because he said the rehab on his injuries has been really hard on him.
I mean, that rehab is a motherfucker, so I can understand. I mean, that's the entire reason Luck retired from the NFL is because he's like, I don't want to fucking do rehab again, man. I'm tired of rehab. So
I mean, he's almost 40, so it's like, I mean,
but I think you're gonna see Kenny again. I think.
And then to see the thing is with like Adam Cole with this concussion thing, he might not even be here.
I'm telling you right now, Kenny Omega will finish out his career in Japan.
You think so?
Adam Cole already had an injury too going into Forbidden Door, so
he probably shouldn't even have been in there. Honestly,
I thought he was not going to wrestle, and then all of a sudden,
it really didn't even make any sense for him to be in that match. It would have been better as just a triple threat.
Yeah, they could have done it that way. I think he was supposed to not wrestle at first, and then he probably talked his way. He probably sucked Tony Khan off and was like, "Please let me wrestle."
Yeah, who knows?
Tony Khan gave him a big old hug and was like, "Okay."
All right, so that's it. That is the show. What I do need to ask you this though, Dustin. What is your final grade for Blood and Guts?
For Blood and Guts, I don't know. I really enjoyed everything but that last match, so I'll give it like a C plus.
I give it a D minus.
Really? Well, you didn't
Yeah,
like any. You see, you didn't really like
I
anything
really
about it.
didn't like anything that happened other than the Christian stuff. The Orange Cassidy was okay. Give me just a second, baby. The Orange Cassidy was okay, and then the Jade,
Oh, and
but
don't
everything
forget,
else was
Wardlow is going to fight Scorpio Sky in a street fight next
oh,
week
street fight.
for
Street
the
fights.
TBS title.
Well, it's
You
good
think
that
Wardlow
Wardlow's
will win
finally.
the TBS title in that match?
Absolutely. There's no scenario where he loses.
Yeah, he has to. They can't let him lose. They're building him up. Well,
All right. Well, Lawrence, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming
Bro,
on and
thanks for having
talking
me.
some wrestling with us. But I got nothing else, so I guess we'll just end this one here. So until next time.
keep it kayfabe.